This is Coffee, Country, and Cody.
So 12/12/24 means 12 days until it's Christmas Eve.
Uh-oh.
And when do you open gifts, huh? We've been opening them like crazy around here. They're called Opry Country Christmas shows, and it is our Christmas music gift to you. I was there last night with spotlight artist Chris Jansen. A little earlier, we featured Christmas in Dixie, which is a true duet that he is doing with Alabama. Randy Owen and Teddy Gentry said he'd always wanted to do that, and he was thinking about it. Said to Kelly, his wife, I'm going to call Randy and see if he'll do this with me. And he was in from the beginning. So he did it on the stage of the Opry last night. Kelly Sutton, you're working on a lot of things this morning. We got Ben Chapman coming to see us in a few minutes. Robert Earl Keen a little later. He's playing the Ryman tonight. It is lights, camera, Christmas. Now, everybody break into Merry Christmas from the family.
You know what we should do for fun? We should run down all the things that they're going to go buy and then tally it up and see how much that would cost. Because, they're like...
Oh, that's funny. Kind of like the 12 days of Christmas.
Yeah. We should figure out what that would cost us these days. If you're running down to the side store and you're getting all those things, people just keep adding it on there. Like, hey, by the way, can you grab it? Coming up, somebody else that's shopping, Brenda Lee. We found her at Target. She's there, and so is her vinyl, and we've got the video, and it's precious. Stay tuned for that. Also, Sam Hunt talking about Christmas. He's got two little, so it's definitely going to be crazy around his household where he's headed. And Trace Atkins is on the naughty list, and he's proud of it, and he can put you on the naughty list too in his new song. So that's coming up.
Carve the turkey, turn the ball game on, mix margaritas when the eggnog's gone. Send somebody to the quick sack or quick pack, depending on the convenience store in your hometown. We need some ice and an extension cord.
Okay.
A can of bean dip and some diet rights. A box of tampons and some Marlboro Lights. Right. Hallelujah. Everybody say cheese. Merry Christmas from the family.
Does it say can of bean dip?
Yeah.
I'm writing on a list.
Those Marlboro, that carton of Marlboro Lights is going to set you back.
Yeah.
That's not cheap anymore.
Was it a carton or was it just a pack?
I think it was a carton.
Oh, wow. Yeah, okay.
Ben Chapman, what's running through your mind right now as you watch your life?
Man, I was thinking that was pretty cool. That was a pretty cool night.
Well, welcome to Coffee Country and Cody.
Man, thank y'all so much for having me.
It's our first chance to meet you in person, but you know you're going to like a guy when you see that his influences were the Allman Brothers, Guy Clark, and Little Feat.
Oh.
Lowell George and Little Feat. It's like,
That's my hero, man.
I got all that stuff on 8-track, man. That's how far back I go.
I'm an old soul. I got all of it on vinyl.
He walks in wearing a Charlie Daniels hat.
Yeah,
I was like, we're
man.
speaking the same language.
Oh, I
So,
love Charlie.
You're from Northwest Georgia, a little place called Lafayette?
Yes,
Is that
sir.
right?
You nailed it.
And I was reading where it was, Lafayette was originally Chattanooga, and they changed the name somewhere along the way.
It sounds like it. Yeah, we're about 30 miles south of Chattanooga, right across the line.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yep.
Mark Wills is from that area, isn't he?
I believe so. And so is Norman Blake, if you know that bluegrass picker.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's over in Rising Fawn. Yep. Yep. It's like literally about 15 minutes from my hometown. So he's one of my heroes, too, for sure.
It is one of the most interesting stretches of I-24 because you're driving and all of a sudden you see a sign that says, welcome to Georgia, and you weren't planning on going to Georgia. And you're like, how have I messed this up? And then about 8 miles later, they welcome you back to Tennessee.
Exactly. Like, just kidding.
But man, it throws you. It really does.
This is what happened when you hired drunk engineers to do your surveying.
T-Dot was like, we'll give this part to Georgia.
That's where the biggest potholes are. So what were you
Exactly.
listening to growing up?
I was raised on classic country, but what really struck my soul, I was like in 6th grade, and I found the Beatles, I think, as everybody does, and that really flipped the chord with me, and then it just sent me down this path of finding all this obscure stuff, and that led me to Guy Clark and all that Townes Van Zandt stuff, and just all that stuff. So just trying to find whatever was the weirdest stuff at the time.
You know, the interesting thing about the Beatles is even some of the most simple poppy early stuff, like I Want to Hold Your Hand,
so
has
good,
the
man.
craziest chord change. I mean, those
dude.
are not just
George
simple songs.
They were so good.
Yeah.
man. Yeah. Paul was a genius, man.
So, as I think about your story, who was that when you talked about in the little video piece we showed about your Opry debut? Who was the first star encounter you had once you got to Nashville at 21, I think, when you moved here, something like that?
That's hard. I want to say, I guess it was Lainey Wilson taking me on tour. That was my first ever, like, oh crap, she's doing some things, And I never got to really meet any of my heroes because most of them were older. I'm an old soul, but I guess Lainey was the first one that I met, and I was like, she's a star.
Did you learn anything about work ethic from watching her night after night after?
Man.
Well, even during the day before you hit the stage.
Yeah, I learned so much from her. We were on tour with her for I think two or 3 months, and it was our first real tour of getting on a bus and going out with her, and we learned a whole lot. We learned not what to do.
So, at some point, you were a couple of years into college, as I recall.
Yes.
And your mama sits you down because she just can tell that your heart's not in it because you're going to school, but you're playing your gigs at night. And I guess mamas have that sense.
They do.
Right, Kelly? Mm-hmm. You just know certain things inherently.
Mamas know.
That, hey, he's not happy doing this school thing.
Yes. Yeah, I was at Dalton State. It's about 45 minutes from my hometown, and I went a year and a semester. And I came home crying one day, and I was like, I don't know if this is what I want to do. I was going for business management. I don't look like a very business management guy now, but I was going for that, and I was like, man, I was spending more time playing than I was in class, and my mom was like, why don't you just give Nashville a shot? And I'd always wanted to come, but it's just getting over that hump of actually moving, and I was like, screw it, let's do it. And
so is that a song, by the way?
It should be. Maybe I can write it with Robert O'Keefe.
He'll be here in a little while. You'll go right.
I'm hiding in the green room.
That'd be great.
So you and a buddy packed up and headed out when you were 21 years old?
Yes. Yep. Moved up here when I was 21.
Do you know anybody?
Not really, but I'd.
Do you have a place to live?
Yeah, actually, I lived in a little townhouse in Antioch, and I don't know how I found it. I think it was, y'all know Jo Smith? She's a songwriter.
Oh, she used to be
she's a sweetheart.
Joe was a part of our show.
Are you serious?
Yeah, we love Joe.
No way, man. Yeah. That's the townhouse I was living in.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah. The music teacher at my high school was actually her best friend.
Oh, wow.
And she was like, I got a place you can live. And I was like, well, awesome. So she was always out of town, so it just worked out.
Well, she married a Navy SEAL, so you don't fall behind on your rent with Joe.
Man. I got to meet him a few times.
He's going to come and take care of business.
He was the sweetest guy ever, but I was like,
I
don't want to get on his bad side.
That's right.
JD.
JD, that's right, man.
Yeah. When JD told you, I could tell you, but I'd have to kill you.
He's meaning it.
On
That's
both
awesome.
sides of that. That's crazy.
Hey, well, congratulations. Your new album, Downbeat, comes out on Friday. How's that feel to hear?
Feels great, man.
What are you going to do
excited.
special tomorrow?
We're going to Dallas to do a show.
Oh, good.
So, we're going to catch a plane.
So for people who are watching on Circle Country Television, where are you playing in Dallas?
A little Christmas party. It's a little private party. We do it every year.
Is it oil money?
I think so. They pay us good.
That's right. Welcome to Dallas. We pay large.
That's right. That's right.
More Coffee, Country, and Cody is on WSM.
Ben Chapman is here. Tomorrow, his new album, wherever you get your music, it'll be available. It's called Downbeat. We heard Almost Home from it just a little bit ago. As a songwriter, after you got to town, you had quick success as songwriting goes. There are people who struggle for years and years, before they get a cut. But Flatland Cavalry and Shelby Lynn, Muscadine Bloodline, Steel Woods, all those folks have cut your songs.
Yes, sir.
So what was your first cut?
I think my first big cut was with Flatland, a song called Spinnin'.
And so did you understand having to write songs and then we got to get somebody to pitch this song? Did you understand that part before you got to town?
I kind of, sort of. I had a guy from Lafayette, Georgia, my hometown, Channing Wilson. He's a singer-songwriter from there, but he's been in Nashville for probably 10 or 15 years. going back and forth. And he kind of showed me the ropes of everything and how everything worked. And he's like, look, you just can't go up there and start, everything. He's like, you got to go up there and get a publisher and everything. And lo and behold, I was doing a writer's round over at the Listening Room. And this guy named Jake Gear showed up, and he was a publisher. And he was like, man, I can tell you like Guy Clark. He's like, I like Guy Clark too. And I was like, well, we're going to be buddies. And he signed me, and it was off to the races after that.
Oh, wow.
So
you made your Opry debut in late 2023. We
Yes,
showed
sir.
a little bit of my Opry debut. You can watch that whole thing on the Opry's YouTube channel, by the way. It is a nice little recap of a night when you might forget a lot of stuff because it's so crazy.
Just watching that, I was like,
Yeah.
man, that was so cool. I forgot all about that.
Your girlfriend, Meg McCree, made her Opry debut about 4 months after that. I think March or April of this year.
Yes, sir.
Did she pick your brain? What advice did you give her? Because it's such a big deal, but it's also so unique. There's nothing like it.
Well, it's such a big moment, and it's so nerve-wracking, but yet so beautiful, And I was just like, take it in, just breathe. Just breathe and take it in, touch the counters, have a cup of coffee, go get some popcorn, because there's a camera in your face the whole time, which is a beautiful thing to have, after the thing. But it's a little nerve-wracking. I was like, just take it all in.
Who'd you meet backstage? Who'd you run into as far as
John Conley. He's like I was like, oh my God, Rose-Colored Glasses is my dad's favorite song. And I was like, John. And he was like, hello, son. And I was like, I'm a huge fan. And I got to meet Ricky Skaggs back there. And who else? I think I met Jeannie Seeley. She was such a sweetheart.
Yeah.
She was such a sweetheart. So it was a special night. Just walking around some heroes.
I looked on your website and I see that you're going out on your own tour.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that intimidating to know, okay, I've been out on tour. I know what this is. I'm doing my own tour. My name's at the title. Like, it all rests on you. It's got to be exciting, but also a little intimidating.
Yes, ma'am. It's very intimidating.
Okay.
But we've been getting some ticket counts, and
Is it good?
everything's going all right.
It's good.
So,
Well, I did an interview with Jelly Roll, and he said, when I was younger, I would have birthday parties and nobody would come. So when I put, it was a sad, it was exactly.
that
That's
sounds
what we
like
all
something
said.
he would
Oh,
say.
listen,
right?
I just want to give him a hug.
Right? Yes.
Yesterday, Jamie
Yes.
Floyd was here, and I found a pictorial from 8 years ago that the Tennessean had done a feature on her, and one of the pictures was Little Big Town, and I asked her about that, and she said, my mom and I were the only people at their meet and greet.
Wow.
That
Isn't
is
that
the
something?
thing. But that is the thing. And Jelly said, he goes, I always get nervous when I put anything on sale because I feel like I'm throwing a party and I hope people come. So when you're
Exactly.
getting the
That's
ticket,
exactly what it feels like.
you're getting the ticket counts for
Yeah.
this, and you're like, people are coming to my party.
Yeah, it's such a surreal feeling too, because like you said, we've been out with almost everybody opening, and sometimes you can get stuck in that,
Yeah.
especially in the whole Nashville world of like being
it's
the
comfortable.
opener.
It's comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like this year we just decided with this record, we were like, let's see what we can do, but yeah, it's nerve wracking, but I think it's time.
Good.
What were the circumstances when you and Meg met?
We met actually at a writer's round. We met 5 years ago, and my guitar went out, and I was like, can I use yours? We were sitting right beside each other, and we just bonded over that, and I was like, man, I love this girl. The first day, I was like, I've never had this feeling before. I've never had that first sight love, and I was like, I'm in trouble.
Now
Okay.
that you're in 5 years, did she have that reciprocal feeling?
I think so. We're still here. We've made it. We've
Did
made
you
it.
hear her sing before you thought you fell in love with her, or was it
It
you
was
loved her?
so. I looked at her and I was like, oh, whoa, she's beautiful. And then I heard her sing. I was like,
Okay.
I'm in trouble.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, it's on.
Do you get a little of the Sheryl Crow vibe with Meg?
All
Because the
the
first time
time.
I heard her, I'm like, whoa, this is so great.
all the time.
Yeah,
man.
with a little hippie thrown in.
It is.
It's a great combination.
Just a little hippie
Yeah,
thrown
yeah,
in.
yeah.
And funny enough, her producer works with Cheryl, so it's
Oh,
just like
yeah.
it's just a good
Yeah.
cosmic connection.
As you were describing that, I was reminded of Marty Stewart as he was falling in love with Connie Smith. They were co-writing.
Yeah.
And he said, my heart was going, yeah. And my head was going, no.
Exactly. I was like, dang it, should I fall in love right now? And it's like, yeah, that heart don't tell you, you know.
Hey, just for the fun of it, I looked up the lineup for your Opry debut. You were there the night Patti Loveless and Vince Gill were there.
I was there. I didn't get to meet them. I was too nervous to walk up to. But what two heroes?
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh. I got to see Patti Loveless walk by, and I was like,
Her sound check was right after yours.
I watched it. Believe me, Charlie, I watched it.
Ben Chapman, so engaging, lots of fun, and so proud for you that
Thank you.
Downbeat, your
Thank
album,
you so much.
comes out tomorrow. And again, wherever you get your music, it'll be there. We're going to close with the title track.
Yes, sir.
Does it need a setup, a backstory on this, and how you came to write it, and how it became the title track?
So this is kind of my backstory. I grew up playing in honky tonks and bars or wherever they would have me, a lot of Mexican restaurants and all that kind of stuff. Before I moved to Nashville, I probably played, 1,000 shows before moving up here. And this is the backstory of that.
You heard it here. Good to see you, man. Well, certainly the Opry could be a stop, tntrailsandbyways.com, and I just pulled up randomly this morning the White Lightning Trail.
All
Goes
right.
north and east out of Knoxville, up to the Kentucky border there. And just picked one of those 300 or 1,351 stops that you make on these 16 different trail names in the White Lightning Trail, Granger County Courthouse, and there's a tailor shop with the courthouse. As a young man, this fella operated a small tailor shop in Rutledge. A replica of his shop stands in front of the Granger County Courthouse. His name, President Andrew Johnson. I didn't know that President Johnson was a tailor by trade.
Wow.
Did you?
No. I hope he was a better tailor than president.
Well,
I mean, they impeached a man, didn't they?
there you go. Every time we talk, you got to bring that up. I did a lot of good things in my life. But always, you sit down with Charlie Mattos. He brings up that impeachment talk.
Well, it is history. Kelly had a great story.
I looked very good, by the way, while being impeached.
There we go. He did. He was a good-looking man.
I was dressed perfectly.
Oh, gosh. Kelly had a story earlier. We may get to it again about Brett Young playing a Jack Daniels-sponsored event downtown Nashville at Bridgestone Arena. I live on the Jack Trail, which will take you, among many other stops, to the Jack Daniels distillery. But that's the great thing about tntrailsandbyways.com. If you live in Nashville, you got a free Saturday, and it's like, man, let's just do something different. Go to that website. You'll find hundreds of great ideas. And if you're coming to hang out with us for a week or so, if you're watching on Circle Television, indispensable. Plan your trip. tntrailsandbyways.com.
I don't think you would have received a presidential pardon from the Andrew Johnson administration.
No, not for my attitude. No.
It's your attitude. You have tone.
I have tone. That's right.
tntrailsandbyways.com. Get off the beaten path. Take the scenic route and stand out. Kelly Sutton.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You got a lot to cover.
I do.
And we got Robert Earl Keen coming to see us.
I have added up all of the things that he buys in Merry Christmas to the Family, and I have the total for you coming up.
Oh, okay.
Well,
It's
we
a
made
lot.
2 runs for cigarettes. We got Marlboro Lights
Yeah.
on the first run and Salem Lights on the second run.
Which one do you think's more expensive?
The Marlboro Lights. Am I wrong?
Not according to my calculations.
Really?
Yeah. It looks like Salem Lights, because I don't know that they even make Salem Lights anymore.
Oh, that could be.
It kept coming up with Salem Menthol.
One day
And I'm
I'll have to tell you about my
Well, I
cross-country cigarette dealing with my dad that made my mom so mad. I'm sure we violated many laws. But
were you buying them here and sending them up there, or vice versa?
Yeah, they fit perfectly in the UPS priority mail thing. And I could fit 4 cartons in there. And my mom would get so mad at me. Don't do it, Charlie, don't do it. My dad's like, don't listen to your mother. She didn't know what she's doing. You send those up
Send
here.
those cigarettes up here.
Charlie, line
That's
1
great.
is the Interstate
It's
Transportation
been past
Department.
7 years. My dad passed 15 years
Okay.
ago.
The
statute of limitations has
I am
expired.
in the clear on
You're fine.
on my illegal industry.
Well, we lived in southern Indiana, and my parents smoked once upon a time, and they would drive to Kentucky because it was less excise.
Oh, the
tax
taxes in
over
Rhode
there.
Island were insane. Oh, seriously, it was like $70 a carton down there, where I could get them for like $25 here.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it would save $150 easy.
That's crazy. Okay, well, now that we've endorsed that, let's talk about Brenda Lee.
That Robert Earl Keen's a bad influence.
He
Look
is.
what he did.
He really is. It's the time of year we rock around the Christmas tree, and now you need to rock around Target. That's where we found Brenda Lee. This is the cutest video ever. Her vinyl is out, and she posted this on Instagram, y'all. Just listen to it. It's precious.
There it is, right there.
Oh.
At the Christmas party hop. Mistletoe hung where you can see.
Hey, my vinyl, Rocking Around the Christmas Tree, is now available. Guess who's got it? Target.
Is that not the cutest thing? She's just pushing the cart. She's got on a big red, beautiful coat. She's making her Target purchase. As you mentioned, Shirley, I'm glad she bought that vinyl because she opened it in the store to look at it.
And it's in pink. Yeah, I'm glad you pointed that out.
It's perfect. It is absolutely everything you wanted it to be. Yeah.
She's barely above the shopping cart.
Which, by the way, just a quick aside, what do you call that? You call it a shopping cart?
Yeah, what else would you call it?
It's a buggy.
Oh, I have heard it called a buggy. Yes, but I call it a shopping.
Buggy?
I call it a shopping
cart. Your mom
cart.
call it a buggy?
Both, yeah.
Buggy or a shopping cart? Yeah. All right, so she's got the buggy, and
we used to call
she's so little.
the baby stroller, a little baby buggy.
Yeah, that's true.
So back on December 10th, it was announced that Rocking Around the Christmas Tree had racked up more than 1 billion streams on Spotify, making it the only holiday song by a female country artist to do so.
Yes.
She said she was dumbfounded. And you go on and you find out, if you do a little trivia, 7 times platinum, and it to date, it's second highest certified Christmas title behind All I Want for Christmas with Mariah Carey.
That just celebrated a 30th anniversary.
Yeah. So hers
Really?
is 60,
30 years for All I
Isn't
Want
that
for
crazy? It didn't really catch on until like the last few years, right? I mean, am I wrong about that? Doesn't feel like it.
Well, you know, and
Mariah's song,
Wham
I mean.
has had a big comeback this year, last Christmas.
Have you played Whamageddon?
I know. I heard it the other day.
There is such a thing as Whamageddon?
Oh, for years.
Yes.
Go ahead. You
Okay.
explain it.
Starting on December 1st, if you're listening to the radio, you try to make it from December 1st to the 25th without hearing Last Christmas from Wham. When you hear, and it has to be the original version. There are rules. It has to be the original version from Wham. It can't be a cover song. If you hear it somebody singing karaoke, that's fine too. Original version. If you hear it, you're out. And we have a Facebook group, and we'll be like, I got whammed. It's called Whamageddon. And you try to go through to make it. You can't. If you listen to Christmas music anywhere, if you're walking through a store, you will hear it. It's guaranteed.
Mix 92 killed me. Yeah. I got knocked out like December 2nd.
Yeah.
Like very early. So just on Spotify, 1,700,000,000 streams. So way over, probably 3 billion once you add Amazon and Apple.
For which song?
Wham! Last Christmas.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's so crazy. All right. So here's to those still playing Whamageddon, and I hope that you make it to the 25th. Brenda Lee is rocking around the Christmas tree. Go get that vinyl. It's out now. Sam Hunt, he's excited about Christmas because he's got 2 little ones at home. It's going to be a very fun Christmas for him. His daughter is 2.5. She'll be 2.5 or 3 by the time Christmas comes. So what do you do when you got 2 little kids? Well, how about you just pack them up into the car and go traveling around? That's what he said they're going to do.
We're going to go down to Georgia, see my folks. My wife's from Alabama, right down the road, so we'll probably make a loop, go through Alabama. She's got lots of brothers and sisters. She's one of 7, so lots of kids are showing up every year. There's like 2 or 3 more kids at Christmas, so it's getting louder and louder. And then, you know, over the holidays, you kind of just let them cut loose a little more, and then they get around each other and just ratchet each other up to 10. So, yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Okay, but I am going to just put this out there. They've got 2. They got Lucy, and then they've got a little boy named Lowry. They're expecting their 3rd, so she's pregnant. I'm like, do you really need to travel? That's the trump card when I had a baby. I was like, y'all are coming to me now. I'm not going to you anymore. You got to come here if you want to see the baby. So, but I guess if she's one of 7, they're like, that's fine. If you don't want to come down here, we got
we got
to play
enough.
with.
Yeah.
So it's no big deal. Sam's current single is now in the top 40 on the country charts. It's Country House.
They didn't know to miss you.
Yeah. They were like, is somebody not here? I don't even know. So this song is new from Trace Adkins. It's called Naughty List, and it's exactly what you thought it was going to be.
You ought to see me in my old sleigh bed.
My old sleigh bed. Now, if you start with Honky Tonk Badonkadonk, go to One Hot Mama and Naughty List, There you go. I mean, that's the quintessential trifecta from our friend Trace Atkins.
Maybe a little swing batter chrome in there too.
Oh, you want some chrome
Just for
going
the fun
in.
of it. Yeah.
Well, yeah. But I mean, it really does play
No,
like...
it does tell a story.
It tells a story. That's how it all comes together. So there you go. New stuff from Trace Atkins. Since we're talking about eggnog and margaritas and Bloody Marys, let's throw in Jack Daniels. So Jack Daniels is going to be doing a really cool concert event. It's called Carols by the Barrels, and it's free. That's something you don't hear very often in Nashville, Tennessee. Brett Young is the headliner. This is happening December 17th, Bridgestone Arena's Outdoor Plaza. They have a 7-tier barrel tree. So they've taken a bunch of their old barrels and made a Christmas tree out of it. So you can take pictures in front of that. Starts at 4. Thank you very much, Charlie, for finding that.
Yes, afternoon. That's good.
Yeah, afternoon is great. Kelsey Hart's going to be there. Harper Crace will be there as well. You're seeing a picture of the barrel tree. It's beautiful, lit up and all fancy. December 17th, get out there early. It's absolutely free. And our friend Brett Young is going to be singing. You can visit jackdaniels.com. But you have to be 21 to get into their site.
Why don't you go out there about 4 o'clock, roll for a couple hours, and then go host the Grand Ole Opry?
Oh, there you go.
Am I working that night?
It's the 17th. What
I hope so.
Might improve my performance.
Is that me?
I mean,
that might be me.
Listen, it wouldn't be the first time that's been done. By both host or performer.
Oh, I was like, oh, really? I don't.
I guarantee it's not the first by a performer.
Okay, that's me, but I won't be going out there because I am doing the 17th. All right, so if you want more information, jackdaniels.com. But it is funny because it says, what's your birth date as soon as you get to the Jack Daniels website. And you're like, I just wanted to log on. I didn't know I had to have my ID. Also want to let you know more people have been added to the Nashville New Year's Eve celebration. So if you're looking for something fun to do, come celebrate with us. It's free, y'all. It's absolutely free. CBS's New Year's Eve Live, Nashville's Big Bash, just got bigger. Now, we've talked about this. We're not trying to pull the wool over anybody's eyes. Half these people are already pre-recorded. So don't come down thinking you're going to see Lainey Wilson live because it's not happening.
Yeah, in the middle of the day, if you're stuck in traffic in some part of town where you're normally not stuck in traffic, chances are.
Yeah.
There's a videotaping going on.
There's a videotaping happening. So these are the people that have been added and the ones that you will get to see when you watch it on CBS. Luke Bryan, Chris Stapleton, Lainey Wilson, Luke Combs, Eric Church, Miranda Lambert, Post Malone, Tyler Hubbard, Shabuzi, Zach Top, and Brittany Spencer. They are going to be joining Kane Brown, Jelly Roll, and Parker McCullum, as well as Keith Urban, who will also double as the show's host. Keith, why are you all up in the hosting business now? This is my beef with Lainey, too.
Because Lainey Wilson did it.
I guess so.
And he wants to do it, too.
He is really good at it.
They just don't want us to do it.
Can I tell you, this is my favorite Keith Urban story. So Keith has done this for years. He did it for like 3 or 4 years in a row, hosting our New Year's Eve celebration. And I was there backstage watching it happen. And he was so brilliant because at the time, this is before it became the 5-hour extravaganza, he would play a song live on the TV portion, and then they would cut away and they would go to like Washington, D.C. or something. And while they were cutting away, he would play live for the people that were in front of him. And they would be counting him down, and he would be changing the song live on the fly to match the countdown. So he would be finished in time to hit it live again when we went on the cameras. I've never seen someone back time and change their song live on the fly. He's so good at it.
Impressive.
He is so impressive. So, yeah, watch it all happening December 31st, 8 p.m. Eastern on CBS. And all your favorites will be there. And we also want to say hello, good morning, happy belated birthday to Brenda Lee. Apparently, she has been on a shopping spree, and she hit up Target, y'all. It was the cutest thing ever. Rocking around the Christmas tree, 65 years last year, 66 this year, and we found the video of her going to check out the vinyl. Take a look at this.
There it is, right there on the front.
Oh.
Christmas tree at the Christmas party hop. Mistletoe hung where you can see.
Hey, my vinyl, Rocking Around the Christmas Tree, is now available. Guess who's got it? Target.
She's just walking around, and as Charlie mentioned, we are very glad that she purchased it because she opened it in the store. But you know what? Her face is on it. If I walked into any store and my face was on something, I'd open it too. I want to look at
There
it.
you go.
She's just a head above the handle of the
Yes.
shopping cart.
Yes.
The little car, she's pushing it and it's right here. And I'm like, I love it. I asked her how tall she was. She said 4'8" without her hair, 4'11" with her hair. So she had her hair on that day. She was looking mighty tall. But you can get the limited edition. It's vinyl. It's pink. It's beautiful. It's at Target. And we love Brenda Lee.
Absolutely. I was just thinking about October. I want to say it was like October the 13th, somewhere along in there in 1958 is when they went in the studio and recorded it. And no one turned the lights down, and he had Christmas lights up.
She
and
said he
turned
made
the
it
air
really
conditioner.
cold.
Yeah, and they all treated, because she was a little girl with all these ne'er-do-well musicians, and they were all so sweet and kind to her. And this guitar lick that is synonymous with this song is from a cat. I mean, he is incredible. You go back and look at his catalog. His name is Hank Garland.
This is Coffee, Country, and Cody.
Merry Christmas from Kelly Sutton, y'all.
Yeah. Hello. Merry Christmas.
You got the goods over there this morning.
I do. This is such a cool story. So, we love talking about everything country music, but sometimes it's country adjacent. And I still feel like we can claim Taylor Swift. I mean, she started here, she came here, she was country. So when there's news around Taylor, I'm going to talk about it. And Annie and I came in telling us about this story. I hadn't seen it. I'm so excited because I love these kind of feel-good stories, especially this time of year. So let's go back, shall we, to Taylor Swift's last tour stop in Rio. I mean, you saw those crowds. Massive. There was a guy, huge Taylor fan. His name is Felipe Conrado. He's been a Taylor Swift fan for more than 13 years. The number 13 is her favorite, by the way. He was sitting very close to the stage, scored some really great tickets. And in the middle of the show, she kind of gets tripped up and she's bending down and he's watching it happen like, what's going on? Something happens and she kind of tosses something over to him. And he reaches up and grabs it. It's the bottom of her boot. She has on these big knee-high sparkly Louboutin boots and the heel had come off. So she just pulled it off and tossed it and he caught it. Well, the cool thing about this is he was trying to raise money for cancer treatment for his cousin. His cousin was undergoing cancer treatments and couldn't really afford the chemotherapy. So the entire family was trying to figure out ways to raise money. He put this for sale on eBay. Someone bought it and he donated the money to his cousin. But when Christian Louboutin found out about it, he decided, I'm going to give you the money and that way you can keep the shoe as well. So this fan shows up, sees his favorite artist, catches her shoe, and then helps his cousin get treated for cancer. That's a win-win. I mean, come on, Taylor Swift.
Especially
That's
the way
amazing.
it turned out.
Isn't that the most amazing story? I love hearing that. And then if that wasn't enough, we can talk about Taylor being so very generous that she gave out $197 million in bonuses. Yeah, we said that right. $197 million. I would have been happy with $197. But if you were a part of her tour for this Eras tour, then you got a really nice bonus check. This includes the drivers, the dancers, the production staff, everyone who worked on Eras tour got a bonus. She grossed, you ready for this? $2 billion. $77,618,725 on this tour. That doesn't include merch. That's ticket sales. You also have a confirmed estimated, this is confirmed now, 10,168,008 people attended that tour.
149 shows, 5 continents.
Incredible.
I mean, truly a world tour.
I mean, she's either really, really, really exhausted or planning the next tour.
Well,
I think she's probably planning.
And all of those were 3 nights in a row.
Yeah.
This was not like a one-off and you take a week off. So by the end of the third,
Right. And I remember, we got to see it when it was here in Nashville. You got to see it when it was in New Orleans, which was a totally different tour, I think, by the time you saw it. It was just, another album
a new
had
album
come out. Yeah. She'd added different songs and different costume changes and all the things. So congratulations, Taylor Swift, who was the young girl who played the Bluebird way back in the day. I saw the Tennessean ran a story when she was 15 that said Hendersonville teen trying to make it. And it had the lineup that was happening at the Bluebird that night. It was $8 to get in to see her. How about that?
Well, Charlie paid $12 to go see her in New Orleans, didn't he? $12.
That's right. Yeah.
$12?
Yeah.
U.S.?
I tried to use Canadian currency, but
You couldn't get around to it.
I missed the days of Don for $1 at the Bluebird Cafe.
Yeah, that's not happening. Hey, one more story for you. If you're in town next week and you're looking for something to do and you got your family with you, the 17th, a free show is happening, Bridgestone Arena. It's just out by all the Jack Daniels barrels. They've made it into a great big huge tree. It's called Carols by the Barrels. It's free, starts at 4 o'clock to 6:30. Brett Young is your headliner. Kelsey Hart and Harper Grace will be there as well.
Tomorrow's Coffee, Country, and Cody. Cody Jinks will be here. He's got a brand new Lefty Frizzell tribute album coming out. Ricky Skaggs is going to join us, talk about the Ricky Skaggs and Kentucky Thunder Christmas at the Ryman show that's coming up in a few days.